Top 6 fears of women over 60. All of us have fears. Some are afraid of speaking in public, others are afraid of death. Change is one of the constants in our lives, and you think by now we would have gotten used to it, but we don't. So with that in mind, we've listed the top 6 fears that women over 60 experience, and we've tried to provide some solutions and answers that will give you comfort and empowerment. Fear of being alone. We're also used to rushing here and there, being overscheduled and overcommitted, that we rarely make time to be alone. Consequently, when we do get the opportunity, we pace around anxiously, wondering who we can call, text, or connect with on Facebook. We begin to conjure all kinds of frightening scenarios of a future spent alone. The good news is that being alone doesn't necessarily have to mean being lonely. Rather than spending energy planning ways to avoid it, maybe it's time to start practicing it. Regularly spend time with yourself, getting to know who you are and what you want from your life. Of course, it's great to stay in touch with other people, but also learn to relish time spent with yourself. Fear of a failing mind. When we forget to put the water in the coffee machine before we turn it on, or we call our daughter 2 of her siblings' names before we get to hers, we secretly start to worry that we're losing our minds. Fortunately, being scatterbrained is not the same as having a medical condition. According to the U.S. National Vital Statistics Report, the average 60-year-old today has a 4.8% chance of developing Alzheimer's in their life. That's a 95.2% chance you won't. Those are pretty impressive odds. Your energy would better be spent taking care of your brain and sharing all your wisdom and great ideas with the world. Fear of death. As we age, we're more cognizant of our own mortality. We may begin to worry about the deaths of loved ones or ourselves. The fear of death is ultimately fear of the unknown and fear of loss of life as we know it. The more we learn about death through religious or philosophical traditions and through the sciences, the more we can strip away our fears. Fear of being invisible. Getting involuntarily retired from your job, being passed over for a promotion because you aren't as tech-savvy as that 28-year-old, or watching the 40-something power couple get seated at the restaurant while you stand patiently and invisibly by, can start to take a toll on your self-esteem. Sometimes it seems that our youth-obsessed world is deliberately marginalizing, patronizing, and sidelining us. That may be true, but we didn't accept it in the 60s and the 70s, and we don't have to accept it now. As Mary Catherine Bateson reminds us in her inspirational TED Talk, we have to liberate ourselves from the stereotype of aging. We've been through liberation movements before, and our own awakening always precedes them. Let's not pine away in the corners of society. Take stock of your passions, talents, and allies, and become an impassioned agent for change. You know you want to. Fear of fading beauty. Around the globe, societies glamorize youth. If we've had the misfortune of deriving our self-worth from our physical beauty, and many of us have, then aging can be cruelly difficult. When we don't garner the attention we once did, it comes as quite a shock. Some of us spend a great deal of time, effort, and money trying to hang on to the remnants of our youthful appearance. In reality, the only solution to this dilemma is to recognize the absurdity of it and stop perpetuating it. Let's support women who are already actively engaging mainstream and social media to change and redefine what it means to be a beautiful woman. It's an opportunity to redirect the energies of future generations of girls into something more meaningful. Fear of lack. Money has always been a complicated issue for women. Now, in the midst of so much financial uncertainty across the globe, we feel even more precarious in our life situations. Some of us fear losing our jobs. Others fear they'll never be able to stop working. If you're afraid you'll outlast your money, Escape from Cubicle Nation recommends a side hustle, something you're passionate about. Start now while you're still working, and if something unexpected should happen, you won't be caught unprepared. Another thing to consider is downsizing. Global financial and environmental concerns have brought about a trend toward minimalism. You would be amazed how little you actually can live on when you aren't maintaining a lot of stuff. Combine these two suggestions, and you may even realize more freedom in your life. We all have fears. We wouldn't be human if we didn't. It's how we respond to our fear that matters. Tell us which of these fears you relate to. What do you suggest to others facing the same fear? Let us know if you have different fears and how you quell them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel in order to see my videos first. You've got so many, jewels and secrets to share. That is such a cool story. I love it.